Good afternoon, friends, and happy Saturday. We are here today with another episode of I Refuse to Read, the series where you, my community, vote on which archetype you are going to force me to finally sit down and read for the first time. In today's episode, we have, and I mean no disrespect to the Tindanglers, the first competitively relevant archetype that we've covered in the series thus far. Memento. This archetype of charmingly hideous monsters, bearing at least a passing resemblance to old-school Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters, has achieved a respectable level of competitive success, including winning a YCS and, more impressively, having a 3-0 match record against me playing Malice. Despite having dueled against this meta threat a few times, I can still confidently say that I have no idea what the deck does. All I know is that when I try and negate their shit, my opponent just tells me that they get to resolve the stuff anyway, and then I lose. You guys forced me to read this, putting the highly respected Goaty fans in a corner for yet another week, and so let's get into it. If you want to participate in these weekly polls, subscribe to the channel and keep an eye on the community post. The poll goes up every Sunday at noon and closes on Tuesday. We'd love to have you. I have a summary from Wikipedia pulled up here that I've linked in the description as well. Man, you guys complained about me for using AI for the archetype descriptions, but let me tell you, at least on Grok, I wasn't being bombarded by ads. Holy shit. Anyway, it reads, Memento is an archetype of many retrained previously non-effect monsters. That makes sense. I know that they're supposed to be based on classics. Their playing style revolves mainly around special summoning their high-level monsters quickly for free. Yeah, I can tell you they do that. Which their effects enable if the graveyard has enough other Memento cards in it. Cards and archetypes that can send monsters to the graveyard fast can help in setting the strategy up, like Lightsworn or zombies. Since most Memento monsters just require to have the monsters in graveyard to summon them, cards like Necro Valley or the End of Anubis can help protect them too. There you have it, nice and human written. The End of Anubis, yeah? Quality stuff, boys, quality stuff. Well, I have all the cards pulled up here on Wikipedia, and let's get into it. Jesus, that's a lot of cards. Okay, there seem to be 18 cards in this archetype. This is the largest that we've done so far, with 10 main deck monsters, 4 spells, 2 traps, and 2 extra deck monsters. All right, well, this is going to take some time, so let's jump right into the main deck monsters with Memento Mace. So I'm not going to do the Memento I'm just going to call them Memento for the rest of this because that does not roll well off of my tongue. Memento Mace is a level 1 light fairy effect monster with 400 attack and 300 defense, and the card effect. During your opponent's main phase, if you control Memento, holy cow, stopped up immediately. If you control Memento Tahula, jeez. If you control Combined Creation, we're just going to call it Combined Creation. If you control Combined Creation, quick effect, you can discard this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase. Okay, so it's like a quick effect change of heart from the hand. That is super sick, and that's only during the main phase, though. Only during your opponent's main phase, so it's kind of like a crackdown. Oh, and it doesn't negate the effects either. That's really cool. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento card you control, and if you do, add one Memento card from your deck to your hand, except itself, and then you can only use each effect once per turn. Wow, this is crazy strong. This is really good. So it's like quick effect, crackdown, change of heart type deals, and it puts it in grave, which my archetype description said that it really wants to do. I believe that the second effect is only when it's on the field, so you destroy one Memento card, which again puts it in grave, and then you could add one other one from deck to hand. Stupid strong, really cool. I don't know what card this art is based off of, and I'm not going to go look because this video is going to be really long anyway. So if you guys want to tell me in the comments, I would really appreciate that. Moving on, we have another level 1, Memento Goblin. This is a dark level 1 fiend with 400, so that's kind of like a reflection on the first one, right? Okay, yeah, the first one was 400, but it was a light fairy level 1. This is a dark fiend level 1, so it's kind of like the inverse. Has the card effect, during the main phase, if you control Combined Creation, we're just doing that from now on. Quick effect, you can discard this card. For the rest of your turn, your opponent cannot target Memento monsters you control with card effects. That's pretty good protection. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control, and if you do, send up to 2 Memento cards with different names from each other from deck to grave, except itself, and then you can only use each once per turn. Wow, okay, that's crazy good. So the targeting protection is like kind of mid, but it puts this thing in grave, which like you need the monsters in grave. apparently. So if nothing else, this helps get it in grave. And then it just foolishes 2. You pop 1 in order to send 2, which puts 3 in grave like right off rip. That's crazy. So just with its field effect alone, you can get 3 monsters in grave. I have a distinct feeling that I'm not going to be as let down by the boss monsters in this episode as I maybe have in the past. Okay, both of the level 1s are pretty impressive. I could for sure see myself summoning them off of 1-for-1. Moving on, we have a level 2. This is Memento Gatic. Okay, this is the one that I know about because it looks like Karibo, right? I know it's not Karibo because Karibo is not a normal monster, so I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I'm not stupid, right? That's Karibo. I know what Karibo looks like. Anyway, this is a level 2 Dark Fiend, so this one's a Dark Fiend as well, with 550 and 400. Not a lot of attack values, but I don't think any of these things, like, you're ever going to be attacking with them. It has the card text. If this card is normal or special, you can target a memento card in your grave, except itself, add it to your hand. If it's sent to the grave by a memento monster's effect, you can special summon. Oh, damn, that's so good. Okay, so I'm already putting it together. So basically, Goblin can destroy 1 to send 2. So if you go Goblin, destroy a card, send Gatic, then Gatic now gets to special summon itself, and because it was special summoned, you get to target, any card, but presumably like the one that you just destroyed off Goblin, and then add that to hand. Ooh, man, this is super powerful. This is a really, really, really good loop that we've already got going on here. I'm liking where this is going. All right, I'm putting the puzzle pieces together. Not going to spend a ton of time on each of these cards because there's a lot of them, but I really like what we're doing so far. Up next, we have 2 level 3s. We are going to start with Memento Ang Witch. Is this the level 5? No, because the original witch that I'm thinking of was level 5. This must not be it. This is a level 3 dark spellcaster with 800 and 1000, and it has the card effect. If this card is normal or special, you can add a memento monster from your deck to your hand except for itself. Then it has a field effect. You can target 1 level 2 or lower memento monster in your grave, destroy a memento monster you control. It doesn't say destroy one other, so it can destroy itself. And if you do, special summon the targeted monster, and then you can only use each effect once per turn. Wow. This is like banger after banger. To each card, 2 effects, and like all the effects are good. None of these require you to have the combined creation out either. Okay, yeah, so you just like special this thing, which you can do a dozen different ways, and then you get to search, and you can search the monsters with discard effects. This is crazy. And then you can pop a card to special summon from grave. Super strong. Holy cow. I'm really impressed by these so far. The art, let me pull this up. Yeah, I really like the art on this one in particular. But the effects on all these have just been banger. Okay, so the first of the level 3s is really good. Great searching, great special summoning. I don't know what more you could possibly want from an archetype than this level of like consistency and swarming. So yeah, it's perfect. Moving on, we have Memento Sleepy. Sleepy? Is it actually pronounced Sleepy? Holy cow, because it's a sheep? Is that what it is? Is this like the fusion substitute? Not fusion substitute. I can't remember. There's like a sheep in the early sets that is like a fusion monster. That's what this reminds me of. This is a level 3 Earth. Ooh, okay. They're not all dark and light. Level 3 Earth Beast. Effect monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense. And the card effect. During the turn, a monster in your possession was destroyed by card effects, which like every monster we've seen so far does. Quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Nuts. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can fusion summon 1 memento fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters on your hand or field. Okay. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send 1 memento card from your deck to the grave except itself. Right. So like this is kind of like the Tindangles, right? Where they're just constantly sending stuff to grave, except they all also do things other than like send to grave. So they send to grave and then they also do something else that's completely busted. Why is Foolish Burial still limited? Why are we limiting Foolish Burial when every card just gets to Foolish Burial and also has a badillion like crazy effects on it? So the crazy thing about Sleepy is it just says during the turn a monster in your possession was destroyed by card effect. It's not like in response to the destruction. It's not something you have to chain. It's just like at any point in the turn while you have this thing in hand and you've destroyed a card, you get to do the fusion summon, which is just like ridiculous. And you guys will have to tell me, but does this like remember if a card has been destroyed? So if you destroy a card and then later in the turn search this thing, are you now able to do the special summon summon, fusion summon thing. I don't know if it's like multi-faker. Yes, everything. My only frame of reference is Altergeist cards. I don't know if it's like with multi-faker where if you spoofing to get a multi-faker, the faker knows that you activated spoofing and you then get to use its effect. So I don't know if Sleepy's that way. Please let me know. This card's crazy. It's ridiculous. Up next, oh man. Up next we have the Memento Dark Blade. Look, man, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! This is peak Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't care if I don't recognize any of the rest of these guys. Dark Blade is one of the coolest cards in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, dude. Classic vanilla monster. I believe it even has the stat line. I don't know if Dark Blade had 1500 defense, but I know it had 1800 attack. Holy shit, what a cool visual retrain of one of the coolest normal monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. I really like this. What the hell? This is awesome. Memento Dark Blade is a level 4 Dark Warrior, of course, searchable off Rhoda and everything else in this damn deck. 1800, 1500. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can discard one Memento card, then target one spell trap your opponent controls. Destroy it. Okay, that's kind of mid. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control, and if you do, special summon a level 3 or lower Memento monster from your deck. What the hell? Oh my god, I don't know if you guys saw that Knicks game, but we are coming through in the fourth quarter on Dark Blade. That first effect was like kind of mid. Destroy a Memento card and then special summon a level 3 or lower Memento monster from your deck. That is insane. That's crazy, because you could just go like Dark Blade special Angwitch, and then you get to go Angwitch search a card, or you can go Gatic in order to add from grave, like if you have something that you've already used in grave, or I'm sure, well, it's level 3 or lower, right? Yeah, so you can't do any of the ones that we haven't talked about yet, but still, holy cow, that is insane. Oh my god, like I have to move on because there's a billion of these, but I don't want to stop looking at Memento Dark Blade. This card is so sick. There's a 14-year-old boy in all of us, and the freaking flame sword, the like crystal orange and black. Oh my god, this guy is so cool. I'm gonna come back and look at this card after I'm done with this video for sure. All right, so that's level 4s. Up next, we have 2 level 5s. We have the level 5, whoa, I am not. Okay, I'm sure that you guys have some kind of nickname for this thing because there's no way that you pronounce this. Memento Tatsunutoshigo. Tatsunutoshigo? Did I actually get that? Holy cow. This is a level 5 Earth Beast, another Earth Beast. Do these things just share the attribute and typing of the original normal monster? Is that how this is working? Because I don't see much of a like consistent attribute or typing theme so far, and nothing that really plays on that theme. So I wonder if they just don't care and they're just going off of whatever the original normal monster that they're based on's typing and attribute were. So yeah, this has 1350 attack and 1600 defense. For sure, that's based off the original. And the card effect. If you do not control any face-up monsters other than Memento monsters, okay, you can special summon this card from your hand. Man, what's that old MBT joke where he's talking about like one of the water monsters, and then he's like, you could special summon this by like thinking really hard about a crab. That's for sure what this is. This is like special summon this thing just because you want to. Yeah, of course. That's ridiculous. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control and send any number of Memento monsters with different names from your deck to the grave whose total levels are less than or equal to the destroyed monster's original level. What? That includes, you can do this on itself, right? So you could like destroy it and then send like a 3, a 1, and a 1. So you could foolish 3, and now you've got it in grave as well. Or you can pop, like, I know there are higher level ones. You could pop one of the higher level ones and foolish like a billion, right? This is crazy. It's special summonable by breathing. And then you get to just like pop a card which you want, and then you want to send a million cards to grave. Not to mention, like, you can, I'm gonna keep going back to this card because it's crazy, but you could send Gatic, and then you get to just special Gatic, and then you get to go Gatic, and Gatic can add back one of the other cards that you sent. Holy cow. You can go this guy, pop a card, send Gatic, and then a couple other ones, and then go Gatic, special summon, and then add any of the other cards you sent. So this is like adding to hand and foolishing, like, but times 1,000. This card is ridiculous. This whole archetype is ridiculous. What the hell? Oh my god, what's the other level 5 do? Ooh, this is an ugly. What the hell is going on with this thing? This is an ugly son of a bitch. There's no way. Why? There's so many cool original Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. They didn't have to do this guy. I don't know. Not to upset any Akirrion fans in the audience. Hopefully there aren't many of you. But yeah, this is Memento Akirrion. This is a level 5 water aqua with 1,700 and 1,400. And then has the card effect. If this card is normal or special summoned, which now we're getting into like a little bit more difficulty because it's level 5 and doesn't have a special summon effect, you know, something thinking about a crab. You can activate this effect this turn. This turn, level 9 or higher Memento monsters can attack directly. That's crazy. It's free. If this card is destroyed by card effect, including like hand, you can target one of your other Memento cards that is banished or in your grave, add it to your hand. If a Memento monster in your hand or face-up field is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your grave, you can special summon this card. Okay, so this is like another thing that you can send to grave, and then when you pop any other Memento monster, you get to special this guy for free from grave. And there are like more than enough ways to bin already. So I see this. You're this constant loop of destroying, special summoning, and getting all of these monsters into effect. And my fantastic human written archetype description let me know that their higher level monsters need to have that. So I'm looking forward to that. This card is good. Yeah, I mean, the first effect, again, like Darkblade, is kind of mid, but the second effect is crazy. Those are both of the level 5s. We are going to move on to Memento Horned Dragon. Okay, man, I'm going to sound like such a schlub here. I think I know what this is based off of, but I can't visualize it in my head right now. It's been a crazy week. I passed my final on Wednesday as well, by the way. So like school is rapidly on the way out, but yeah, it's still been a crazy week. Memento Horned Dragon is a level 8 Dark Dragon effect monster with 2850 attack and 2350 defense. Oh, baby. Yes, I love it. I love these attack values. It's enough to make a Dinomorphia player cry. Okay, so the effect says, if you have 3 or more Memento monsters with different names in your grave, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Memento Horned Dragon once per turn this way. Okay, yeah, you can do that like effortlessly. There are so many ways to get Memento monsters with different names in grave because they all send each other. So this thing is very easily special summonable. If this card on the field is destroyed by card effect, you can target 3 face-up cards on the field. Not up to 3, has to be 3. Including a Memento card you control, destroy them. Okay, this is fine, right? It's easily special summonable, and then if it has to be destroyed on the field, this one can't be destroyed in the hand. And it has to be 3 face-up cards, not up to 3. So I am actually going to guess that this card is not good. This card doesn't seem to play ball with what the rest of the cards want to do. So I'm going to keep this card in mind going forward, but I don't think that Memento Horned Dragon is a very good card. Okay, holy cow, we are making really good on time, boys. We have 1 main deck monster left. This is the one. All right, just for anyone who's made it this far into the video, I'm going to do my best at actually pronouncing this thing. Mementoale Tehutikla combined creation. Mementoal Tehulikla. Oh man, that I am a white man. What are we doing? This is a level 11 Earth Worm. What? In what sense is this a worm? How is it based off a classic monster if it's a worm? There were no worms. That's crazy. And its art is just freakish. Holy cow. 5,000 attack and 5,000 defense. That is ridiculous. There's a card that allows you to search for a monster whose attack and defense is the same, right? Like if they have the same attack and defense, you get to search it. I mean, I feel like you don't need it because this deck can search a billion ways, but if I'm not remembering incorrectly, that's up there. Cannot be normal summon set. Must be special summoned from your hand or grave by shuffling 5 other Memento monsters with different names from your hand or grave into the deck or extra deck. While you control no other monsters, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon a Memento monster from your hand or grave, at which point you would no longer control no other monsters, so it doesn't get to do its attack thing, but maybe that's enough. Okay, so this is like the main deck bungus. This is the big beater in the main deck. And I know they have 2 extra deck monsters. Most of the time, these cards are kind of bricky. They're kind of bulky. They're not really easy to get out. It doesn't really have a lot of protection. It just like swings and hits really hard. And you're shuffling Memento monsters with different names back into the deck, and you kind of want them to be in the grave. However, 5K is a lot of attack, and it's actually pretty easily summonable just based off everything I've seen with this deck. So I'm going to guess that this sees play. This is a 1 of, for sure. You play this at 1 in the deck. You have to, right? Because this is just like an OTK out of nowhere. This is like a Palladium Oracle Mahad, right? Like you're in a deep end game. Neither you or your opponent have anything. Your graveyard is full. You top deck this guy and you just murder your opponent. Is that correct? That is my guess. Okay, that is it for the main deck monsters. Wow, what a lineup. Some real knockout stars in here. Darkblade is ridiculous. Gatic is crazy. Ang Witch is like ludicrous. All these monsters are just insane. I actually really like this archetype. I'm kind of glad that that it won. Goaty fans, Tindangle had their day, so will you. But I'm kind of glad that we're reading this. Moving on to, we have 2 extra deck monsters. We're going to start with the lower level one. We have Memento Twin Dragon. Okay, this is based off the Thunder Dragon one, right? There's a old fusion monster that's like Thunder Twin Dragon, something like that? I think that's the one that this is based off of. This is a level 7 light Thunder fusion with 2800 attack, 2100 defense, requires 2 Memento monsters. Crazy. Any monster destroyed by battle with your Memento monster is banished. Okay, so it's like a walking macro, but kind of differently. You can only use each of the following effects of Memento Twin Dragon once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can destroy 1 Memento monster in your hand or face-up field, and if you do, add up to 2 Memento monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. Ridiculous. If this fusion summoned card is destroyed, you can special summon a level 6 Memento monster from your graveyard. It extends and then it floats into more extension. You're destroying a Memento card from your hand, which then lets you search 2 more. You've already destroyed a monster by card effect, so Sleepy is going nuts. Assuming that you didn't summon this guy with Sleepy. No, this is ridiculous. It fills your grave, it pluses you. It's just like destroy 1, search 2. I kind of like this. A lot of archetypes nowadays are kind of forcing you to go card neutral. This is like, no, you can Pot of Greed. If you want to, you can search 2 at the cost of 1. This is nuts. And then it floats. The banish effect is just like a nice plus. Like it's very clearly not factored into the power economy on this card at all. It's just like a total bonus. I like effects like that, where they've got like little bonus effects that clearly the card would have been good without, but they just like throw it in for no reason. The summoning requirements are super easy. For 2 monsters, this is a nuts card. Moving on, the final monster of the Memento archetype, at least for now. I'm not updating this if more comes out. That's not the point of these videos. Memento Tahula. Jeez, Creation King. This is just Kel'Thuzad, right? Isn't he just Kel'Thuzad? I know a Kel'Thuzad when I've seen one. This is a level 9 Earth. Earth? Holy cow, you could have fooled me. I would have, if I had bet my life on this, I would not have guessed Earth. Earth Illusion Fusion. That's a nice little chain of words. With 3000 attack, 2000 defense, requires 3 Memento monsters, and then has the effect. You can banish this card from your grave, add 1 of the big guy from your deck to your hand. You cannot activate the following effects of Creation King in the same chain. If this card is fusion summoned, you can send 3 Memento cards from your deck or extra deck to the grave. Crazy. Quick effect, you can target an equal number of Memento monsters you control and cards your opponent controls, destroy them. And then you can only use each once per turn. Okay, this one's going to take a little bit of thinking about. So it has a graveyard banish effect. I don't believe I've seen a way to send from extra deck in this archetype so far, so I don't think you can just like bin this guy and then banish him to search. But he's in grave, you can then banish him and you can search the big guy. So I told you play the big guy at 1. You guys didn't believe me. And then you can't activate these effects in the same chain. If it's fusion summoned, you can send 3 Memento cards from your deck or extra deck to the grave. I guess you can send itself off of that effect, and then you can send a bunch of cards from the main deck. Crazy. Quick effect, target an equal number of Memento cards, so you like target 2, pop 2 as a quick effect destruction. Yeah, this card's good. This card's really, really good. 3k, it's got a huge body. It pops, it sends to grave, which in this deck is the same as searching and special summoning, so it just pluses you by sending to grave. This card is ridiculous. What a really good final boss monster. I don't know why they chose to go spooky in the end. Like, I feel like there was another visual design way that they could have gone other than spooky, but I mean, I guess I'm here for it. Holy cow. Those are some monsters, man. That was a ridiculous monster lineup. I gotta admit, I'm impressed by basically all of them. Horned Dragon was like kind of okay. And then the main deck monster, the combined creation, was kind of underwhelming, but I'm sure you still play it because you can search it and it just like OTKs your opponent. Moving on to the spells, we are going to start with the field spell. I'm going to give this one good try. Memento Mictlan. That's my attempt. So this is a field spell that says if your Memento monster battles, your opponent cannot activate any spell trap cards until the end of the damage step. Okay, I was gonna say, how does the big thing that attacks a billion times not just get mirror forced? I was gonna be like, is it an Armades? Why isn't it an Armades? But I held that in, and I'm so glad because the field spell just turns them into Ancient Gear Golems, turns them into Armades. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, crazy, you can target one of those monsters, special summon a Memento monster with a lower level from hand or grave. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, turn during your end phase, target one Memento spell trap in your grave, set it. Oh my god. They just keep saying things. You're like, you read an effect and you're like, oh yeah, that's really good. Then they just say another effect and you're like, wow, that's crazy. And then that little bit at the end, once per turn during your end phase, you can target one Memento spell trap in your grave, set it. It's almost kind of innocuous. It's almost like they don't even want you to notice it. They're like, yeah, I mean, you can just set a Memento spell trap in your grave. That's a big effect. That's a crazy effect, and they just like throw it in at the end like it's nothing. This field spell is nuts. This is really good. Memento Fusion. This looks like the Gem Fusion, right? The Gem Knights Fusion. That's what that looks like to me. This is a quick effect, so you can use it on your opponent's turn. During the main phase, fusion summon one fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a Memento monster. Okay. If a monster in your possession was destroyed by card effect this turn, you can also shuffle Memento monsters from your graveyard into the deck as material. Crazy. So you just plus from the grave. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your grave, destroy one monster you control, and if you do, add a Memento spell trap from deck to hand. Oh my god, it's hard to even wrap your head around. It's like every card does everything. So it's quick effect, so you can use it as interruption on your opponent's turn. If a card was destroyed, you get to use material from grave, so it just pluses you. I know you want the material in grave, but like one of the reasons you want the material in grave is for cards like this, so that the card can do what it wants to do. And then it just allows you to banish and then destroy a monster, which you want, and then add a spell trap, which you want even more. This card is ridiculous. Holy cow. We've got two more. Hopefully these can give me a break from just like praising this freaking deck because it's insane. Memento Bone Party. This is a quick play spell, and what is that? That's Goblin and Mace. Goblin and Mace are the ones having a party. This is a quick play spell that says destroy one Memento monster in your hand or field. Take a Memento monster from your deck with a different name, either add it to your hand or special summon in defense position. It just never stops. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your grave, target a Memento monster you control, and if it attacks a defense position monster this turn, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent, and you can only use each effect once per turn. Yeah, I mean, the thing that just blows my mind about this deck is that all of the cards just have these little bonus effects. It doesn't need to banish itself from grave to target a Memento monster and give it piercing. It doesn't need to do that. It just chooses to on top of everything else it does. It's just gravy, dude. The whole deck is gravy. This is a giant gravy boat, and it's just pouring all over the mashed potatoes. Yeah, this is nuts. You just pop one in order to either add or special summon, which like you want to do. There's no level restriction on the Memento monster either. It just has to have a different name. So unless I'm incorrect, you could go, so you can't go into Combined Creation, but you can go into like Horn Dragon off of it, or any of the level 5s, which can otherwise like be a little bit difficult. This is nuts. All right, last spell. This is Memento Boneback. And so we have the Tushinogo or whatever. This is another quick play. Says, if a face-up Memento monster you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, thank God, at least one of these cards says by your opponent. Special summon one Combined Creation from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Why not? If your opponent moves a Memento monster out of your grave while this card is in your grave, you can banish this card, special summon as many Memento monsters as possible with different names from your hand or deck. Are you kidding me? I'm actually angry. Are you kidding me? What is this card? So I'm sure that Memento players are going to be like, well, it's not good because it's conditional. It relies on your opponent doing something. The payoff is ridiculous. If a Memento monster you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, just special summon your big idiot ignoring its summoning condition. Ridiculous. And then if they banish or just like move, I guess it's kind of tough, but like let's say they bestial your Anguish, right? They bestial your Anguish, and then you can banish it and then just flood your board with as many different names as possible. This card seems fake. This card seems ridiculous. This is what I would tell my younger sister the card did when I was 7 years old and I was trying to beat her. This would be like, no. You got rid of my monster. I get to special summon as many monsters as I want from my deck. I get to do it from my deck. That is insane. Like, as someone who is impressed by high ceiling cards, this is like the highest ceiling card I think I've ever read. This is like the ultimate punish. Holy cow. Okay, we have 2 cards left and they're traps. And knowing this archetype, they're probably going to be like searchable solemn judgments. Memento Cranium Burst. This is a continuous trap that says while you control a Memento monster, your opponent's monsters that can attack must attack the Memento monster you control with the highest attack. Their choice if tied. Sure. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field. You can target one combined creation you control. It loses 1,000 attack and defense, and if you do, negate the activated effect. You can only activate it once per chain. Guys, you can only activate it once per chain. It's Apollosa. It turns your combined creation into Apollosa because you can just go lose a thou, negate, except it starts out at 5k attack instead of normally starting out at like 24 or whatever Apo would start at. Apo, bannable because it's generic. This is like the opposite of generic, but it's still crazy. This is like multiple times per turn negate, and it's like battle protection. Okay, sure. This is ridiculous. My last card in the whole damn deck. Memento Fracture Dance. This is a regular trap. It says, if you control a Memento monster, target one card on the field, destroy it. Then, if you control Memento Combined Creation, destroy one more card on the field. When an attack is declared involving your Memento monster and an opponent's monster, banish this card from your grave. All monsters your opponent currently controls lose 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. This card is okay. Thank God. It's just okay. It pops. If you have the big guy, it pops another one. And then it has the graveyard banish to like make your monsters a little bit more difficult to run over by battle. But I'm sure that people forget about that second effect because it's in grave. You don't really notice it. They go to crash and then you just banish it, reduce their attack. It's like in the damage calc, so they don't get to redeclare, and then they just like lose their monsters. I'm sure I've probably lost to this card at some point. This seems like a card that I would lose to. Holy cow. Okay, well, I mean, if you guys made it into this incredibly long video, then I gotta tell you, I'm not like frustrated at the deck. I'm just impressed. I'm just blown away by how much this deck can do. All of the cards just seem super saturated in power economy. Like they took a card that they would normally give an archetype and they were like, let's give it a little zhuzh. Let's give it like a little extra something that it gets that no other card gets. And I don't know that I've read a card. I think this is why, even though I've dueled against them, I've never actually read them. I don't think I've read cards with this much card text on them. Each card does 3 things. I mean, not all of them, but most of them do like 3 things. I think this deck is insane. I think this deck is crazy. It works super nicely together. The only thing if I had to guess, this is my guess, I would imagine that this deck is not super popular because it's so big. I imagine you don't get to play a lot of non-engine. And that is really relevant in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, how much non-engine do you get to play? And this wants to play with itself so much that I don't know how nicely it actually does play. I know that the wonderful description that we read said it wants to like be played with light sworns and zombies and stuff like that. I don't know how much I believe that. I am relying on you guys to tell me that because this seems like it doesn't have a lot of room for non-engine in the deck. You guys, please let me know. This is the craziest archetype that we've read so far. Holy cow. Hopefully next week we can enjoy the losers bracket. Don't forget, next week is the losers bracket. It's going to be all of the eliminated archetypes that have been booted out so far. So if your favorite archetype got kicked out, then we have another opportunity to do this. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that your Saturday goes wonderful. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video. Keep an eye out for more, and remember to wash behind your ears.